So you see me here, I'm in my robe. It's about 2:30 in the morning and I'm trying to get this day one video for the February run of the Oklahoma Circumnavigation at the door. But you may think, well, he's going to say he has a studio chat coming up. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to trash talk. That is, I'm going to talk about trash a little bit. And I want to start off by saying, you may recall that in the January video, I mentioned about dropping trash off when we refilled for gas in Sedan, Kansas. And I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but that trash, all of that trash, which you can see right as we're turning this corner on top of my Jeep, it's in a 42-gallon bag that is full to the brim, came from our campsite at the Hula WMA. We left that place pretty clean when we left there. It was quite messy when we arrived. We had similar experiences during this trip with the WMAs. The first campsite was actually pretty nice. We picked up just a little bit of trash there. The second campsite, we picked up 2 bags full of trash, one 42-gallon and one, I don't know how big the bag was that Chad had donated to the cause. But it was a little bit smaller than 42 gallons. But we still picked up an awful lot of trash. Chad and Mike and I talked about this and said, we need to talk about trash a little bit on this video. And the reason for that is a little background about how I create a video. You may recall that in my last studio chat, I just happened to mention that I do my best to try and show places we travel in the best possible light, and so therefore I go through the video and I look for pieces of trash that show up in the video, and I try and shift that video around a little bit, or maybe I even crop a little bit so that the trash isn't seen, or at least it's not obvious. But that all starts first with actually when I'm doing the filming. I have the GoPro mounted in front of me, and so when I turn the GoPro on, I start in my head counting 1,000, 2,000, and what I'm looking for is to reach 10,000 without any distractions, which can include trash, it can include some distracting sign, broken down vehicle by the side of the road, whatever I don't want to include in the video. There's a variety of things I look and say, oh, that's a distraction. And when I see a distraction, when I notice it while we're driving, I start to count over. So I go, I reach the 7,000, all of a sudden there's a piece of trash, I go 1,000, 2,000, I start over again. When I get to 10,000, I say, okay, I've got a good stretch of this video, I should be able to get it a few seconds out of this for the final video product. I had a lot of difficulty on this trip reaching 10,000 on much of the drive because I was constantly seeing trash. Not only were the WMA campsites oftentimes pretty trashed out, but just along the roadside. There's been a lot vis-a-vis the pandemic said about the reduction in societal norms, that people are getting more unruly and rude, and maybe they're throwing more trash, I don't know. Some people say it's a lot of new people going out and venturing out because they feel safer going out in outdoors activities who aren't properly taught about how to dispose of trash. I just want to encourage you on several things, and one is don't just pack it in, pack it out. Pack it in and pack everything out that doesn't belong there, or at least do some kind of a job. Take cleaning up a campsite if you get there and it's dirty. Don't leave it the way you found it. Do your best to do that. Another thing, teach your kids what to do with trash. They shouldn't be in the habit of just throwing it on the ground, or they should know, stick it in their pocket. When I was raising my daughter, that's exactly what I taught her. And I quickly learned that I better check those pockets before I washed her clothes, because I might find a piece of paper in there that would get out of the pocket, and then I'd have little paper specks all over the clothes as I pulled them out of the washing machine to put into the dryer. I firmly believe that this is a cultural thing, and if we allow it to continue, the places we love to go overlanding are just going to become dumps, and I don't want to go overlanding through a dump. That's not a lot of fun. And finally, if you're one of these people who owns property along these roads, oh please, go out there every now and then and pick up the trash along the road. The county's not going to do it. The city's not going to do it. I pick up trash around my neighborhood, and the people who mow, they don't do a very good job picking up trash. And the one thing I'll tell you is, if I go right after they mow, it's a real pain, because instead of the 4 or 5 pieces of trash that are along the, I don't know, quarter mile or so that we face on a major road here from my housing addition, instead of those 4 or 5 pieces of trash, I'll have 50 or 60 pieces of trash, because they've cut them all up and scattered it all over the place. So it's easier to keep up with the trash. I do pick up trash when I walk my neighborhood. I carry a bag and I wave at my neighbors, and they all appreciate it, really. So anyway, that was my trash talk. Now, enjoy this video, and I apologize for the trash you're going to see in it. This was the 3rd weekend trip to validate the Oklahoma Circumnavigation Route. The goal of the OCR is to create a route that sticks closely to the border of the state on publicly accessible roads regardless of surface type. Mapped out by Chad, who is occasionally making shorter day-long runs by himself, on this multi-day run he invited Mike and me to accompany him and document the experience. Departing my Midwest city home, I would meet Chad and Mike at the Tishomingo Wildlife Management Area. Our planned route this trip would take us along the edge of the Red River and Lake Texoma. We anticipated a circuitous route that would run into occasional gates that closed off access and required rerouting. But that's why we were pre-running the OCR before Chad published each section. Mike, is that coffee I smell?
Yes, sir, it is. The reason I'm up.
Oh, man. You got enough for me?
There's water waiting for you.
Oh, wow.
Boiling already? Yours for the taking.
Deal. You knew I was coming, huh? So, boss, what's the plan for the day?
So today we're gonna pack up and head down southeast of here to a little community called Yarnaby. It's where I ended my last little section, and we'll rejoin our route and work our way along this north edge of Lake Texoma, really. So it's a twisty, turny, lots of turns today. The planned route is about 145 miles. Maybe more than we want to really bite off, but we'll see how it goes. Ending up at Fobb Bottom WMA is the goal. And so that's our plan for the day.
Okay, GoPro reset, has full of battery. Should I head on down that way or not?
I think you can. I don't know if we're going to go through or not. I'm hoping we are. Map shows we are.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 1 of the Oklahoma Circumnavigation. Chad, Mike, and I are camped last night here at the Tishomingo Wildlife Management Area. We're just kind of checking it out a little bit.
Hey, that Reeves Ravine North campground on my right looks pretty cool.
Which way did you go at this Y, left or right?
We went right. Yeah, it's just up on kind of a little rise, overlooking this pond. It's nice.
There's some pretty lakes back here, isn't it?
Several of them. The Snake River access camping, there's just tons. No ground fire sign over there. This place looks different when it's all green.
going the right way. I'm staying on this main road across Reeves Ravine.
Yep, you're not very far behind us at all.
I've caught up with Mike.
No shortage of great blue herons either. I think those mud trails across the road are beaver.
I'd sure love to catch some beaver on video.
Alright, we're out of the eating each other's dust for a little bit.
There really wasn't very much dust at all.
Yeah, I got the plan now. We'll fix the mess and then turn right.
It looks like you can go down a little ways and then head south.
I don't build roads like this anymore.
It's a nice road.
When I was doing the road, and this is the bridge that was underwater. That seems like a crazy amount of water, but that's how it was. This bridge was underwater.
Wow, that's a really cool bridge too.
While on the way to our OCR start point at Yarnaby, we passed Fort Washita. Chad and Mike had never visited it before, so we made a short stop to see the historical buildings and learn about its role in Oklahoma history.
Allotment was a rough deal, but the people who got allotted this property must have felt like they won the lottery.
That white fenced area is the Confederate graveyard.
Government Springs, straight ahead. Okay. At the end of the road. I don't know if we were supposed to drive down here.
I have a feeling no.
Yeah, me too.
They had a closed at 4:30 p.m. sign as we entered.
I know, I'm thinking it's supposed to be a walking trail though. Yeah, I don't know. Gate was open, whatever. Over 200 unmarked Confederate graves there.
There's a new Bronco that we've got amongst us here, isn't it?
I forget how wide they actually are in person. I was just thinking it didn't think as big as I remembered it.
It's not very tall. You should be getting to it here in just a moment.
We We're back on the Oklahoma Circumnavigation Route.
I noticed that that season is open all year where we camped last night. Not surprised, but we tried it. Yay, there is a road sign going to the right. Mike, I think if you really want to cross the Carpenter's Bluff Bridge, it's still open to walking traffic.
We have to make it a point now that I know about it.
We ought to stop there and get a little video or something of it. It really is a really neat bridge.
We will, it's on my plan to stop there. Said 1906, that makes it older than the Carpenter's Bluff Bridge in 1910.
God, this trash. So yeah, this is a much cooler way to drive that because you get two views of the dam.
Two views of the dam, get the spillway, you get a good chance to stop right there at that campground if you're in the need.
many times he's had cars coming in his yard.
Quite a few.
I notice it's quite a bit cleaner in this area right in here.
I don't know.
This is more what I'm used to seeing when I go around.
It's a nice little area. I'm sure it's a lot different when it's packed, but right now it looks really, really neat.
Right now, pretty good. Nobody up there. A red-headed woodpecker in this tree just flew flying left there.
I see him. Oh, he just went after that squirrel. Do you see it? Yeah, he's fighting that squirrel on top of that post.
Yeah, he's giving that squirrel hell.
What somebody caught while fishing out here. An old vacuum tube radio and an old fishing pole.
Section of the OCR we're going to have to deal with is the fact that your roads are tiny neighborhood roads. This just goes to neighborhoods. We're just going to go straight. Kind of wild that a bunch of lakeside property ended up as a WMA. That's fortunate for hunters, I guess.
We are arriving at the Fobb Bottom WMA where we plan to camp tonight. Did you say there's somebody else down here?
Yeah, there is. Over there.
Oh, okay.
So what are we having for dinner tonight?
Some
Chad?
fajitas.
Nice.
So I layered up. You layered up. I'm ultra layered up. He's layered up.
It's chilly out here.
My
wind's
legs
not
are still
blowing.
chilly.
The wind's not blowing. The propane fire feels good.
It does. Yes.
And
Moon is bright.
there is a moon up there. A little.
Orion's overhead.
You see Orion?
Yeah, right there. But the Pleiades, the light's a little too bright from the fire, but I'm not going to complain about the fire.
Yeah, agreed.
And you're definitely not going to be permitted to turn it off.
No, absolutely not.
Let's turn it off. So no. So the trip.
Yes,
It was good.
so far so good.
We accomplished our
We did.
ridiculous goal today.
It was a bit.
it was a big bite.
Bit ambitious. Yeah, I would rather not be traveling so long personally.
Yeah, I was done.
Yeah. And we had a couple of stops there, and
Yeah.
especially the one there at Fort Washita, where we spent probably a half hour listening to that young man tell some amazing stories.
I would
was
say
good.
that
That was
that
worthwhile,
took some
yeah.
time up, but I really enjoyed
I'm glad
Yeah.
we did
I
that.
love frontier forts, and
Yeah.
that was.
I wish he'd permitted me to record, and of course I'm always respectful when people,
Sure.
and I understand when people don't want me to.
Sure.
You know what the most fun part was for me today, though? I think
What's that?
the actual departure from the Tishomingo WMA, that route you found,
Yeah.
that was really, really neat.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to mention that I was really impressed with what they've done there. I think that was an area that I didn't know there was any camping at all in Oklahoma, and suddenly there's a lot of camping there.
And the lakes that we crossed over,
It's really pretty.
were really pretty. The drive was really pretty.
Yeah.
This time of year, it's really nice. In the summer, getting in the water would be really nice.
That was a great way to start the day.
It was nice,
a
yeah.
Great way to start the day.
Yeah, this is better. What we did today is a lot better than finishing at 9 p.m. and getting back home.
Yeah,
Although, if we were getting back home tonight, we'd all be in warm beds and
brought a heater.
yeah.
I'm gonna be warm in my
You suck.
tent. I didn't bring a heater. I looked at the heater and made the decision not to bring the heater. So
You're a good guy.
notice as I'm sitting almost in this fire.
Yeah.